We spoke with Melissa Kennedy during this series as well, and Melissa is an expert on the Rh negative blood theory, and I think she mentioned a figure of some 85% have an ET experience of Rh negatives. Have you gone that deep into the people that are being healed? Is there a common theme with their blood type?
Not that I've found. I haven't done a whole lot of research into that, but what I do see is that this is a universal phenomenon. It happens to all people on all continents, and has been for many years. I think what we're seeing with the abduction phenomenon is probably largely unprecedented, really, in human history. We haven't seen that. You can march out historical accounts of UFO sightings and even waves, but nothing at the levels of what we're seeing now, and certainly not the huge numbers of onboard experiences that are being reported. There's no historical evidence to show anything like what we're seeing since about the 1950s onward.
I wonder if that's because now more people are showing a bit more courage and coming forward with what's happened to them than before.
Yeah, society has changed in also being much more educated, and because a couple hundred years ago, not a lot of people could read and write, or certainly not to the levels today. So there's that as well.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think, because we're seeing huge waves of activity over large population centers, and sort of a slow escalation of activity, and a grassroots campaign, I think, to convince people that UFOs are real.
You mentioned the Greys. Are they the actual ETs involved here, or are there other species being reported?
In my own personal research, not talking specifically about healings, I get mostly Greys, and that's true with healings as well. About 50% of the healing cases do involve Greys when there is a ET reported. But yeah, there's a wide variety. It's very hard to categorize. But mostly Greys, or some variation of them, or even hybrid-like Greys. Also mantids, praying mantis, human-looking, turns up quite a bit, and also what I would call strange humanoids. Almost universally, when ETs are described, they're of humanoid shape.
Right.
Even robotic humanoids, which it puzzles me. I'm not quite sure why that's the case, but we're sort of stuck with the evidence.
Yeah. Well, what do these cases say about the benevolence or malevolence of these ETs? Are they friendly or hostile?
I think it depends on the person you talk to, because there are people who have been healed who don't come away feeling like these ETs are their friends by any means. One lady had a gallstone removed, and she was not happy about it. Yes, they healed her, but she felt violated because she hadn't asked for it. She didn't know who it was. Someone had just came into her home in the middle of the night and did it. She has no memory of it, just waking up the next morning and she's healed.
Wow.
She's a nurse. And another lady healed of cancer kind of felt the same way. Some people feel like they're just being used like lab rats. But I'm going to say a good half are, come away from the experience feeling pretty good about it. And feeling like, there are some who are absolutely feel that their cases were truly benevolent.
Right.
I don't think it's an evil agenda by any means. I think there are many cases you can march out where ETs don't understand human pain, the pain and the trauma they're causing.
Yep.
But I don't think they're trying to cause pain. I don't think that's their agenda at all.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too. Yeah. I suppose, taking your car to your local mechanic to get a specific thing fixed or worked on, and then the car comes out and they've done something else to it and kind of given it an upgrade. Are these people reporting like a health upgrade? Is one thing being healed only, or they kind of come out completely healed of everything?
Yeah, there's a lot of cases where people are healed of a specific injury or disease that they're suffering from at that time, or multiple injuries. Or like one guy was struck by a beam of light, a Peruvian customs official, and was cured of nearsightedness and rheumatism. just by this sort of beam of light. There's lights in a lot of these healings. But there are cases where people aren't sick and have an abduction experience and come away, physically upgraded. I don't know how else to put it. A lot of people, that I've talked to personally tell me they've gone to the doctor, and the doctors, even though they're elderly, are like, wow, you have the heart of a teenager. Very, very good health. There's one case from John Hunter Gray. He had an abduction experience, and following his experienced over 20 physiological improvements. He grew an inch, his feet grew in size, his wrinkles faded, his hair started growing faster, he stopped getting sick.
Wow.
It's amazing, yeah. And there's also healings of psychological illnesses, by the way. One gentleman, there's about 3 or 4 cases of people cured of suicidal depression. One gentleman was ready to commit suicide, literally had driven out into the desert and had a gun held to his head when a gray appeared and kind of voided the suicide. He experienced missing time, but did not kill himself. Which, by the way, I looked up the top 10 ways people die in the United States and the world. In the United States, suicide is one of the top 10 killers. And ETs have actually, these cases show that the ETs have cured people with pretty much all the top 10 killers that we have.
Right.
So that speaks to their agenda, I think.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I mean, I remember watching one of the Star Trek movies, The Voyage Home, and Doc McCoy. They'd gone back to the 20th century, and Doc McCoy had gone into a operating room, and they were operating on this person, with physical instruments and cutting into him. And Doc McCoy was aghast. He said, what the hell are you doing? And of course he pulled out his little machine and went bang, bang, bang. The guy was fixed. So, what does that say about our technology compared to theirs, when they can just shine a beam of light at you and everything's gone? You're 100%.
Yeah, it shows that, how primitive we truly are, and that we have a lot to learn from them, I think. People, when are taken on board a UFO, there's a very strong medical theme that runs through onboard UFO accounts. People describe the ETs as doctors. There's lots of medical terminology used. It's usually in an exam room. They're very advanced in medicine. And I think we have a lot to learn from them. We call, diseases chronic, which aren't really chronic at all because they are being cured. There's, some very well verified cases. Jim Schaefer up in Winnipeg, Canada, was cured of cancer. Got before and after x-rays, doctor statements. It's an incredible case. So there's this is great medical evidence. Medical evidence has always been something that could make or break a case. But cases like these, where we have before and after x-rays of tumors disappearing, there's, another case here in Southern California, same thing, shows that, we have quite a bit to learn about medicine, and this, these ETs certainly have a lot to teach us about it.